Let me give the other side a little free advice. I don't know how many times I have to say it. The American people want you to stop trying to tell women what they can do with their bodies. At the ballot box in Congress and state legislatures, they just want you to stop. Pay attention to last week's elections in Ohio. Pay attention to every single time in every single state where abortion has been on the ballot. And not just in blue states. I'm talking about Kentucky, Kansas, Montana. Every single time Americans have said they want these decisions to be between women and their doctors, not women and Republican politicians. Yet here we are with another MAGA messaging bill that strips away abortion rights from women. It's just nuts. You know, in the last 2 weeks, both the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and the Financial Services Appropriation bills were pulled from the floor because Republicans didn't have the votes. The agriculture bill failed floor passage and is considered all but dead. In fact, all 5 of the GOP's remaining appropriation bills have major issues. The ones we're considering this week have never been marked up in committee, and I hear it's likely that they too may fail. I don't call that regular order, I call that regular disorder. The way this place is being run is so far beyond incompetent. My Republican friends are trying to convince us to pass bills that they can't even convince themselves to pass. I mean, forget about bipartisan. These bills aren't even partisan. They're hyper-partisan. They're so awful they can't even get their own members to agree. Let's look first at H.R. 5894, the Labor, Health, and Human Services Education and Related Agencies Appropriation Act. It is a disaster. It drastically underfunds public schools and slashes teachers' jobs. It stifles life-saving medical research and cuts programs that support maternal and child health. Of course, like all their other appropriation bills, it contains a litany of MAGA culture war anti-abortion riders. And Democrats, once again, will continue to stand up to these Republican attempts to ban abortion nationwide. We are also here today to consider House Republicans' CR, a last-minute Hail Mary the new Speaker threw together because he, too, has realized that the other plan to jam through each unpopular appropriations bill one at a time won't work. This CR creates a bizarre, bifurcated approach, setting up 2 separate CR deadlines that will only make a future shutdown more likely. To be clear, they aren't kicking 1 can down the road, you're kicking 2 cans. And while we are talking about numbers, remember, we wasted 3 weeks without a speaker while extreme MAGA Republicans fought with regular MAGA Republicans about who should be speaker. Then more weeks wasted trying and failing to ram the remaining spending bills through the House, bills that will never, ever, ever become law. And the truth is, we are right back where we started at the end of September because Republicans cannot govern. They have made clear that in a divided government, they will refuse to work with anyone outside their conference. Same circus, new ringmaster. And this CR is just a perfect example of that. It fails to include critical supplemental help for our allies abroad, like Israel and Ukraine, or direly needed humanitarian assistance, provisions widely supported in the Senate and by the White House. Most egregious, in my mind, is there's no additional funding for WIC in this CR to help ensure that we can feed hungry mothers, children, and infants. This bill shortchanges the program, and we need to make the program whole as soon as possible to avoid wait lists for benefits. Everybody up here has people in their district who rely on this basic nutrition program. Pregnant mothers, so they can deliver healthy children. Young kids who don't know where their next meal will come from. Babies. I can't imagine why it would be controversial to make sure WIC has proper funding. We need to make this commitment. We need to make this commitment to pregnant and postpartum moms and their young families. And we need to make this commitment right now. So I hope that by some miracle we don't shut down. But the truth is, House Republicans just aren't capable of governing. They are a minority party pretending to be a majority party, full of people who want to scream and yell and complain, but not actually get anything done. I think half the GOP would rather be in the minority so they can go back to voting no on everything and keep complaining and complaining about how broken this place is when they're the ones who broke it. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.